Hey, welcome back to Dealing with the Deckers. I'm Candace Decker, realtor on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and this is my co-host and sister-in-law, fellow realtor, Jamie Decker in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. And we have one of our favorite people of all time today, Marley Presswood. She is a mega agent in Charleston, South Carolina. If you have not seen her videos on social media, you are missing out. She is one of the most entertaining realtors I have seen online. So thank you so much for coming on. We're so excited.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. Dealing with the Deckers and the Presswood. I'm excited.
I like it. The trio.
Yeah. We are so excited to have you, Marley. Like Candace said, your Instagram account is probably one that makes me smile on a daily basis. So funny and so informative in the Charleston market, but we're dying to know, what's the market doing there? How has it been impacted this past year, and how is 2021 starting off?
So I think that it's pretty similar to what you guys are experiencing. We are, of course, low in inventory. We're not as aggressive as some markets. We have 1 month worth of inventory in most areas, but our bidding wars are not compared to anything like on the West Coast. I'm seeing people have like 100 offers, and we're seeing like 5 offers. And the average days on market still around 20 days. So we're still super active. We're looking for some more inventory, but we are surviving. For 2021, I think that we're going to see some more houses hit the market. I think people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of listing their home and seeing that the market's staying stable. So I'm excited for 2021.
Nice. And what is the average sales price where you're at? Everyone is always wondering that. How much is it going to cost them to buy a home in Charleston?
So our average sales price changes so much based off of what area you decide on. So it can be anywhere between 300 to the average price being 800. So it just depends how close you want to be to the beaches and to downtown.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about like your amenities and what your downtown area is like? Because I was so shocked to learn that South Carolina had palm trees and alligators like Florida. I had no idea. And then I see you hanging out at these really cool outdoor bars downtown. Yeah. So what is it like living in downtown Charleston?
So we are a historic town. A lot of our houses downtown were built either in the 1700s or the 1800s. It's pretty insane to live here. There's so much charm, so much history. I'm more on the charm side than the history side that I care about, but it's so fun. You can walk down the streets. We have cobblestones still. It's beautiful. We have water everywhere. We are called the Low Country. We were actually below sea level. I'm not sure if Florida is. So there's literally a water view wherever you go. So all those cool restaurants are usually on the water. We are known for either our history, our charm, restaurants, and beaches. So we're here for all of that fun stuff.
What's the weather like right now?
I wish it was Florida's weather, but today it's probably in the mid to high 50s today, 60s. We in
chilly.
The winter time,
so
it'll be
chilly.
Between the 40s to the 75. I know. I hate it.
We're a sub 30 right now, so I'll take 50s.
Yeah. So it's so crazy because
70s. But
I think there might be a little bit of a delay. So what's so crazy is there's people who move from Jamie's market in the Chicagoland area. They move down to Florida, and then sometimes they find it too hot, and then they end up in the Carolinas. Do you work with people who have experienced that? It's like the trifecta.
That is so funny. I mean, people come here all the time too, and they're like, "Oh, it's too hot. It's too humid. You have bugs." We do have a good bit of Floridians here. That is so funny that it's the trifecta. But yeah, I've seen it all. A lot of times people are thinking about coming down to Florida and then they just stop. They're like, all right, that's enough.
Far enough.
We'll make it to the Carolinas.
I'm good. I love it.
So speaking of that, where are you seeing people right now relocating from the most?
Where people are relocating the most, I have 2 people from California coming here in like 2 weeks. But for the most part, we see a lot of northerners, so New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. And then we're slowly starting to see some West Coasters come down too.
Okay.
Have you ever seen West Coasters come there before? Because I know in our market, we traditionally never had people from the West Coast here. And all of a sudden, I mean, a lot of people that we're working with are from California, which is so crazy.
I feel like I'm working with so many people from California now. When I used to meet like 1 person, 2 people a year, but now it's multiple ones are coming down every month. I don't mind it. I'm an expert at knowing what time it is in California now based off of the East Coast.
I am still not an expert, so if you have any tips.
It's just -3 all the time.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely have to get on a California agent sometime in the future and really dig into kind of what's behind all of that movement out of California. But we'll get to that at a different time. What is the one thing, speaking of out of towners, what is one thing that people don't know about buying a home in Charleston, or like a common misconception that you always have to either correct people on, or you just have to share with them because they just don't know?
Flood insurance, that freaks them out. Every single person that moves here, like, I want a house without flood insurance. I'm like, good luck. Flood insurance does not mean your house is going to flood. It is just a protection. Usually houses are raised or have a crawl space. We don't have basements here, but insurance is not scary. I recommend getting it even if your house is not in a flood zone. That's one of the biggest things I always have to explain, because the word flood scares the crap out of people. And probably the fact that we have bugs here. People are...
The bugs, really? I mean, like, we have bugs everywhere. Where are they coming from where they don't have bugs? Because that's where I want to move.
Alaska?
We have cockroaches. I don't think a lot of people...
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have cockroaches.
Yeah. So in Florida, we call them palmetto bugs. It's a fancier way of saying cockroaches. So when people come here from other areas and they see one, like, what is that? It's just a palmetto bug. And they just come out when it's really wet out. But that's why we have pest control. So do you guys have to have like a quarterly pest control done there? Mm-hmm. Same. That's it.
Yeah, we spray for palmetto bugs. We call them that too, but I feel like people don't know what palmetto bugs are if we call them that. They live in palm trees. I'm not sure if you know that.
I did not know we were going to talk about cockroaches today. I had no idea.
But we spray for them. We also have termites here too, which isn't scary either. But apparently people don't get CL 100s in other places.
So do you guys build concrete block or wood frame houses?
We do not do wood. We have wood frame houses. Oh, we have wood frame houses, but the outside of the houses are not wood. They're not concrete. Right. So we build with wood.
Okay.
But the siding is never going to be wood because, termites. And it's not good for the salty air. We do hardy plank.
Okay. Oh yeah, you got to deal with the salty air. That's right. So what is the oldest house you've ever sold?
The oldest house I ever sold was in the 1800s, but I showed a 1700 house. We actually put in an offer. Ended up being in a bidding war, but that was so much fun. I didn't even care.
I can't even imagine. Was it like really, really updated? Could you like not even tell it was from the 1700s, or it still have so much charm?
No, you can tell. You could definitely tell. The house that I did sell that wasn't from the 1800s was an old cotton mill, and they cut it up into different pieces and made I think like 4 houses out of them. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The oldest house I ever sold was built in 1895. And when I met with the people to sell, they were still in the process of renovating. And they were the original, I think they were pine floors. And they're like, well, we were wondering if we should tear these out or redo them. Like, are you kidding me? That is not even a question. You cannot, it would be terrible to tear these out. So they kept them, and it added such a cool element to the house.
That's amazing. I love old houses. It is the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the right market for it, for sure.
So if you live in Charleston, like, do you have a radius of where there's other fun places to visit? Like, I know people really like going to Savannah. I think you've been to Savannah. Were you in Savannah recently?
Me?
Yeah, I thought you were.
I did not. No, I don't think so. So the fun places that we go to, a lot of people that aren't from Charleston will say Myrtle Beach, but if you're from Charleston, you don't go there. Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Greenville, South Carolina are fun places that we go if we want to and Asheville, North Carolina, we go there too.
Wow. So you have a lot of really booming markets really close to you. Because I know like Asheville and Greenville are huge booming markets also.
Yeah, apparently Greenville is one of the fastest growing cities right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we call Greenville our sister city because it's almost a twin compared to us. A lot of the same restaurants, same charm. Charleston's better, but it's fine.
So you were talking about old homes. Obviously, Charleston's full of old homes, but new construction. I've seen a lot of your stories on Instagram going through some new construction neighborhoods. So are you seeing new construction boom? And kind of how is that market compared to the existing home market?
New construction, honestly, is just as challenging sometimes to get a house than as pre-owned homes. We are getting a ton of new construction. Our city keeps it on, they only allow so many houses to be built each year. So they aren't building as fast as probably other cities, but just in, like, I'm in Mount Pleasant, which is right over the bridge. We have probably 10 new construction neighborhoods going on right now.
Wow. And what are the price points of those? Are they all over the place? Or are you seeing them primarily in a certain range?
Again, it just depends. Like, downtown Charleston's our core, and then the further you go out of it, it gets cheap.
Yeah.
So the closer to downtown Charleston, it starts around 5 to 6, and then it can go out all the way to 250, 300.
Okay. All right. So a nice range
the
that
further
could
out,
meet
the
kind
more
of anyone.
beautiful. Yeah.
Good. Candace, any more questions?
Whether you're.
Yeah. How much was that hobby farm you posted earlier on your stories?
That was in Aiken, South Carolina. It was only $500,000. You want it?
That's
Candace
crazy.
is gonna buy it. She's moving.
You should buy it and become my hobby farm sister.
No, that's 2 hours away from me.
Oh, that's far. I thought it was closer.
I know.
So outside
but it was very cool.
Yeah. What is it like outside of the main cities? Like Florida, where I live in Illinois, like outside of the major cities, like there's nothing. It's just farmland.
So we're building out very far. So 45 minutes from Charleston is Somerville, which is where Somerville and Ridgeville, which all of the major companies are going. So Volvo, Mercedes, Boeing, Bosch, Google, they're all over there. So when you go further, it's just literally another fun town that's just far away from the beach. But then we have a national forest. I live about 30, probably less than 30 minutes from the national forest. So you can get a little forest life if you want.
That's
we have some
awesome.
farms.
You got everything.
You guys, they do. Mountains? Where are the mountains?
They're really far. Sometimes when I'm driving over the bridge, I'll look at the trees and act like the trees are mountains.
Yeah.
But the mountains are probably 4 hours away.
Wow, I didn't think they were that far.
Mm-hmm. Not until the edge of South Carolina, because I'm on the very edge, because I'm on the coast.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea. Okay, is the water ever warm by you? Like even in the summer, is it warm up?
The water's
It was
always warm.
always warm.
I could go in it right now. It's probably a little chilly, but
Wow.
yeah.
Because in the summer here, the Gulf of Mexico is like a bath. Like you jump in the water to cool off and you don't, but then in the wintertime, you can't get in. It's so cold.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't see people going, Thanksgiving, I was in the water, if that gives you any type of reference. Me and my niece were in the water perfectly fine. Right now, like I could see kids going in there, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're all in the water on boats by March.
Yeah. Well, you bring up your niece. Can you tell us about your family business? I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a niece. She's about to turn 2 years old. And when she was born, my mom, well, when she started eating baby food, she started eating her own baby food. She realized that that was a necessity, that a lot of people want to make their own baby food that's organic and locally resourced from the farms here. So she started a business called Lily Fuel, and it has boomed. It's insane. So it's a delivery service for from starters, so like purees, to a 10-year-old. So she caters schools. She delivers food twice a week and is at all the farmers markets. They're exploding. She works way harder than I do. It's crazy.
That's so awesome.
That's so cool.
Send us some samples.
Yeah. I'll send you some. Candace, I'll bring you some next week.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to see you in 2 days.
Oh, yeah, 2 days. I forgot. It is 2 days.
Yes, we are. We are going to see each other, which I'm so excited about. So, well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us a little bit more about Charleston. And if you have any questions about the Charleston market, we will put Marley's information. Make sure you follow her on Instagram because she is so entertaining. Have you been doing any reels lately?
I have been doing some reels. I have a lot of reel ideas in my head, so get ready. They're about to go crazy. But reels are fun.
Yeah, they are. What is your Instagram handle?
It is at Things Marley Does.
Love it. Okay, perfect. So I am including that in here. Things Marley Does. Got it. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and we will catch you on the next Dealing with the Deckers. Thanks.
Thanks, Marley.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.